everyone, and welcome back to yet another exciting episode of the MyZone Online School. My name is Maricel Stoffberg, and today we are going to be learning so much. I am so excited I can burst. But before we do anything, please remember we should always sanitize our hands. Don't you just love the sound of a sanitizer bottle spraying? So now we make sure the sanitizer covers every part of our hands, and then we let it air dry. And please remember, this week our theme is to not touch your face. So even if it itches, I know the itches can get bad. We don't touch our face at all, so we don't spread the coronavirus even further. So next, we are going to be checking in with our pre-primary and grade 1 learners for week 2, lesson 4.
Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1. Prepositions and directions.
Good day, welcome to MyZone Online School. My name is Priska Ogas. But before we go on with today's lesson, I want us to remember our previous lesson and what we did. We talked about letter B and number 2. Do you still remember that? Oh, of course, I know you still remember. But before we go on with the lesson of today, which will be handwriting and how we have to write, I want us to sanitize our hands. Can we do that together? And please remember to avoid touching your nose, your face, your mouth, and your eyes. Now can we go on? Are you ready for our next lesson? Our next lesson is about getting the donkey to his carrot. We are going to draw lines in between the 2 lines that we have, and it's on page 19. Can you all go to page 19? Are you there at page 19? Take your pencil or your crayon and draw a line between the 2 lines that you have on the paper. And get the donkey to the carrot. Are you there? Yes. Now our friend Noah was helping us to get the donkey to the carrot by drawing lines. Well done. He has done a great job. Now we're going to the next lesson, which is on page 20. Thank you. Now for our next lesson, I want you to turn to page 20. Please turn to page 20. Yes. This time, we have to find the fly its resting place, following the dotted lines. I will do the first one for you. We start on the dotted line. Make sure you don't go off. Around we go. We find the resting place for the fly. She's going a long way. On the dotted lines, make sure you are on the dotted line. The fly needs to get to its resting place. Make sure you are on the dotted line. We are getting there. We are getting there. And there we go. I hope you've done the same in your books. The next one, which is again the second fly, I want you to do that yourself on your own time. Can you do that? Well done. I know you can do it. Thank you. Now we go to the next exercise, the next lesson, which is on page 21. Did you find page 21? Yes, we are going to talk about letter M. On page 21, it's all about letter M. And we sound it like this. Letter M. I will try and write letter M on the board for you. We go down with a line, up again, and around. And we go up again and around. That is how we write letter M. Now we will ask our friend to come and write letter M for us on the dotted lines. Can you do that? Down on the dotted lines, up again, around on the dotted lines, down we go. Can you complete it, your letter M? Yes. And the next one, because in your books you have the two letter M's and then you find the blocks. On the dotted lines, make sure you are on the dotted lines. Our friend is doing a great job. I will just help him a bit. Can I help you? When we come down here, we go on the dotted lines and around we go and down on the dotted lines. Can you write the M in the block? Letter M in the block. Line up. Well done. He has done a great job. Now I want you to finish writing in the blocks that you have on page 21. I want you to do it with time and on your own. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson of today. Now that we have come to the end of the lesson, I want you to remember that we talked about the letter M and we did our handwriting. But before we close off, I want us to do a very important part of this lesson. We have to sanitize our hands at all times and avoid touching your nose, mouth, and eyes with your hands. Now we're going to say goodbye and invite our friend Zashi. Bye-bye. Have a blessed day.
And Simon says, don't touch your face, your eyes, your nose, and your mouth unless your hands are super clean. Bye!
Thank you, Teacher Priska. What an exciting lesson all about handwriting and the letter M. So my name is Maricel, which also starts with the letter M, which is my favorite letter for some reason. And also MyZone, that starts with the letter M, because MyZone is magnificent, our word for the day. So next we will be checking in with our grade 2 and 3 learners for week 2, lesson 3.
Good morning, learners. How are you today? I hope you are fine because I am very fine. Good morning, my friend. How are you? All right. Welcome to MyZone Online School. My name is Mrs. Mudabeti. Our theme for this week is summer. Before I introduce our topic for today, we have to sanitize our hands. There we go. We rub it in, we rub out, nicely out and between our fingers. Our topic for today for our lesson 4 is going to be punctuation, capital letters and pronouns. Good morning, learners, again. Good morning, my friend. Today we are going to look at the capital letters and the full stop. We are going to look at the capital letter and the full stop. What are these? These are what we call punctuation. We call them punctuation marks. They are marks and they have got the reasons why we have to use them. So when we look at our alphabet chart here, all these letters of alphabet, A, B, C, D, when we read them until the Z, the way they are written here, they are written in big letters. That is what we call capital letter. Capital letter. Okay, they are all capitals. And we have the small letters. How do we write these letters now to change them to small letters? Do we know how to write a into a small letter? That is big. But when we say it's a small letter, then it's that one. Okay. And we use these capital letters. We don't use them usually in the whole reading passage, but we have got some places, important places where we use the capital letters. Where do we use a capital letter when we are writing? We use a capital letter at the beginning of a sentence. Whenever we start writing a sentence, we use a capital letter, a big letter. All right, that is how we use a capital letter. Where else? Your name, when I write my name, Teacher Mudabeti, I don't start my name with a small letter like that. I start it with that one, a big one. A big letter for all the names. Your name, your parents' name, your town's name, your township, the location where you are staying, all the important places, the street names, we use capital letters. Names of rivers, names of all the important places in the world, we use the capital letters. Don't forget to use a capital letter also on the days of the week. Are we together? In the month of the year? All right. Again, still with the grade 2s, we are going to learn where to use this one. Do you know the name of that one? It's a what? It's a full stop. Thank you. That is a full stop. Do you know where we use a full stop?
We use a full stop like that at the end of a sentence. I'm writing, and when I'm done, I have to show that this is where I'm ending. Because if you just leave your sentence hanging without a full stop, someone may not know whether you still want to continue or you have ended. So make sure that when you write your sentence, you use what? A full stop when you have ended. Are we together? Thank you. So we have learned a full stop and a capital letter. Remember, do not forget, capital letter with your name and with your important place. All right, so the grade 2s, let's go together on page 22 and see where we can put a capital letter and a full stop. All right, on 22, we are going to rewrite the sentences with the correct capital letter and a full stop. Let us read number 1. The child is playing with his toys. Is that sentence correct? Is it supposed to be like that? What is missing there? What are we supposed to change there? Okay? All right, thank you very much. There you got it. We are supposed to start a sentence with a capital letter. But on this sentence, we can see that they have started the sentence with a small t. They started with a t, which is small. They are supposed to start with a capital letter. And at the end of this sentence, the sentence is hanging. We don't know whether this sentence is going to continue or it has ended. So at the end of this sentence, they are supposed to put a full stop to show that they have finished. They are not going to continue. So I want you to continue trying number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 in the same way. Number 2, you must find out for me what is wrong there. Where is the capital letter supposed to go? Where is the full stop supposed to go if we are supposed to put it there? The learners are writing with their pencils. Check for me that sentence and change the letter. I love my family. In April, we celebrate Easter. I love eating at Wimpy. All right, so, excuse me, you are going to rewrite. Don't just write in a letter which is already there. Please rewrite the whole sentence in a way you are practicing how to write so that you don't forget how to write when you are at home. Now, I'm going to take the grade 3 over to page 23 while the grade 2s are doing their work on page 22. Okay, grade 3s. Now let's go back to our punctuations again. This time we are going to add 2 more on the punctuations that we have learned. We have learned the full stop and the capital letter, remember, in grade 2. So now we are going to continue and adding more. Remember, we have got a lot of punctuation marks. But for you, for your grade, I'm just going to add 2 more. So I'm going to add this one. Besides the full stop and the capital letter, I'm going to add this one. Look at me. A line and a dot under. And I'm also going to add this one which looks like my ear. I'm drawing my ear. There you go. What is that? So, and after these 2 big ones, I'm going to show you the small one which just come like this, but we are going to take them one by one. It's not difficult, don't worry. Okay, so now we have learned the capital letter, we have learned the full stop. Now we are going to add more of these ones. When do we use this punctuation mark and that one and this one? First of all, we have to know their names. Do you know what is the name of this line and the point under? This, we call it an exclamation mark. In the simplest way that we can remember it, just say it's a shouting mark. A shouting mark. Whenever you shout, you have to put it at the end of the shouting word. You must always remember that. It is only used at the end of a shouting word or end of a shouting statement. Right? Okay. Now what about that one which looks like my ear? What about that one? That one is called a question mark. Where do we use a question mark? Of course, at the end of a question. Whenever you are asking someone a question, whenever you write, you must make sure that you put it at the end. Don't just put a full stop there. It does not belong there because a full stop is not a question. But this one is a question mark. Put it there. For example, what is your name? Question mark. Where are you going? Question mark. Okay. And then we come to the small one. This one sometimes is not even visible, but when we read and we look through our passages, we will always find them there. They have got a meaning also. You know, they are used to separate the words. When you write a lot of words or a lot of names of things, good. Lots of names of things, you have to separate them. You cannot write, for example, I'm writing names of fruits. I write banana. I write apple. I start the apple. I write mango. Sorry. I write mango. You know, someone who is reading will not know. Will not know whether I have written, whether this is one name, because there is nothing that shows that these things are different. But as soon as I put my commas in between, then someone who reads will know that, oh, this one is different from that one and from the other one. So it is used to separate the names. It can also be used to separate the numbers. If I'm writing maybe numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, look at this number. I can read it like it's a million or a billion, but the moment I separate them by putting the commas, then now someone will know that these numbers are different and they stand alone. Are we together? All right. Okay, so now let's go together on page 23, grade 3. Let's see how good and how well you have listened. Okay, look up there. Our exclamation, our full stop starts, exclamation, question mark, and a comma. Now we want to use these ones in our statements which are under there. So remember, you must know where to use them, then you will get it correct. Now let's do the first one together. Let me help you with the first one, and the second one, the rest you can do it at home. Okay, number 1. No, do not run in the house. No, do not run in the house. Something is missing there. It can be one punctuation or two. They can work together, all of them in one sentence. So you don't need to limit yourself to say it's only one. No, do not run in the house. So no is a shouting word. It shouts to you, no, do not run in the house. Full stop. I'm telling you not to run in the house, but I shouted, no! You put your exclamation mark there, and then you continue, do not run in the house. Then you finish your sentence. Number 2, are you going to the rugby game? Are you going to the rugby game? What is that? Am I not asking you? Yes, of course I'm asking. It is a question mark that I should put at the end. So you can continue with the others by reading the sentence and then see how you can put the punctuations at the end of each sentence or wherever it is necessary. We are going to look at the pronouns. Remember, we have learned about nouns. What is a noun? If I may remind you, a noun is a name of a person, a name of a place, or a name of a thing. Now, today we don't want to call up the names of things, the names of people, the names of all the places, but we are going to replace them with the pronouns to make them shorter. I don't want to be calling my name. You know, my name is very long. Mudabeti, Mudabeti all the time. I don't want to use that. Therefore, I'm going to do what? I'm going to replace my name with a certain word. That word will be very short for you. So, if I'm talking about myself, I'll say, I'm a I. I'm not going to use Mutabeti. So I is a pronoun. Now what about if I'm referring to a boy? If I don't want to call his name, I'm going to say what? He. I replace his name with a word, he. If it's a girl, I'm also going to replace her name with a pronoun. And what is that pronoun? She. I'm not going to use her name. I'm just going to say she. She is running. She is eating. That is a pronoun. One thing to remember. If I don't want to use a name of a thing, maybe it's too long. I don't want to say a dog. I don't want to say a table. I don't want to say a camera, a pencil. What am I going to replace those names with? Remember, they are not people. We only say it is a he, it's a boy, it's a she, it's a girl, and it's a I. am talking about myself, it's a I. I'm a person. But now we're talking about things which are not people. They can't talk. So I'm going to replace their names with a it. I'll say it is a dog. It is a table. It is running. It is very small because it's not a person for me to say he, a she, or a I. All right. So those are the pronouns. They replaces our names. Okay, now we are going to look at the pronouns that we are going to use today. So today we are going to use the pronouns which we are given here in the box. Check on your book. I, you, he, she, it, we, they, you, him, her, them, it, us. Those are the pronouns that we are going to replace today. Now, we are going to have an exercise for you that we are going to do. You have to circle for me all the pronouns in every sentence. Now, the first one is done for you. I'm going to do the second one for you, and the rest you can try them at home, and I'm going to check you tomorrow. All right, number one. The sentence reads, please follow with me. As I'm reading, you're also pointing at your words there. She went to the store with Angela. She went to the store with Angela. Now, which one is a pronoun from that sentence? Remember, do not underline, circle. Do not circle if it is a name, a proper name of a person, but we only want a pronoun, the word that replaces a name. So in this sentence, we have Angela. So can we underline Angela? No. Because Angela is a name of a person. We want to replace the name. Are we together? Yes. Okay, so she, it tells us more about this pronoun. So the name which the she replaced was the name of a girl, isn't it? Yes, it is. So we circle the she. Now let's look at number 2. 6 of us had to squeeze in the tiny car. 6 of us had to squeeze in the tiny car. Which word is the pronoun in that sentence? Which one is the pronoun? Okay? Us. We are many. Us refers to many. So many of us, I don't know how many we were in the car, but we were not one. We were many. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can't mention all of us names. Therefore, we just come up with one word. Which word is that? Which is us, referring to all of us which were in the car. So you are going to circle the us. Now, can you try number 3, 4, 5 up to number 10 at home? You first have to read the sentence. Then you will know which words you are to replace. Are we together? That is good. So grade 2, I'll leave you with this exercise. While you are enjoying it, let me take the grade 3 also with their exercise. Let's go to page 25. Grade 3s, I hope you are still with me there. You have enjoyed revising the pronouns with the grade 2s. All right. So let's come to our own exercise, which is a bit challenging. I hope you will enjoy this. I'm very much in it myself here. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the pronouns, but this time they are just a bit challenging just for your level, but I know you can do it. The example there, which is given to us, reads, John is a male carrier. John is a male carrier. John carries a blue bag. John carries a blue bag. What are we supposed to do here? It says here we have to rewrite each sentence, and we have to change the underlined word or words to a pronoun. So this is a bit challenging. We first have to know whom are we talking about. Is it a girl or a boy? And how many people are we talking about? Are we together? For us to identify which pronoun to use. Okay, now, John is a male carrier. John is actually a what? Is it a girl or a boy? I think John is a boy. So John carries a blue bag. Now we are going to replace John with a pronoun, the correct one. So we are going to say, he is a mail carrier. That is a sentence on its own. And the second one, under John carries a blue bag, we are going to say, he carries a blue bag. Because now John is a boy and we don't want to be calling him all over and again, John, John, John. We are just going to say he. We say he carries a blue bag. Okay, are we still together? I hope so. All right, so let's continue. The first sentence there with our exercise says, Sarah made dinner for the whole family. Sarah made dinner for the whole family. First thing we have to identify is Sarah a name of a boy or a name of a girl? I think Sarah is a name of a girl. So Sarah is a name of a girl. And what word do we replace a girl's name with? We replace it with a she. Very good. There you go. It's not that difficult. It's very easy. So Sarah, we replace it with a she. Now we're not going to repeat rewriting, saying Sarah made dinner for the whole family again and again. But this time we're just going to say she made dinner for the whole family. Now, the other thing I want you to do, number 2, 3, 4. But I can see there's something which is very tricky there. But I hope you will get it. On number 2, it says, Tyler plays tag with Miguel and Ramon. Tyler plays tag with Miguel and Ramon. How many people are there? Tyler is playing tag with 2 people, not only one person, 2 people. So we're not going to say Tyler, we're not going to say he plays tag with he and he. Are we going to say such a thing? I don't think so. So we are going to replace them with a certain word. What word can that be? There are many, remember? So we are going to say, he plays tag with them. He plays tag with them. So them is a pronoun that is correct, that we should replace the names with. All right, now try for me number 3 and number 4. Then I'll check your homework tomorrow. Now, we are going to look at the work of the grade 2s. I hope they will enjoy this because, hey, the colors on this page are very much bright and I'm enjoying looking and watching at them. So what are we going to do on this one? On page 26, we are going to unscramble the letters to make the word matching the picture. You have to check the picture. I'll give you a clue of how the word will be written. For example, the first one, the number 10. They have given us the number 10. So, how do we write 10 in a word? How do we write 10 in a word? It is scrambled, remember? You know what is to scramble? The words, the letters are jumbled together and they don't just make sense when you read it. You can't read it. Even when I try to read it, it doesn't really make sense. So you have now to unscramble it to make the correct word. But at least the picture will give you a clue of what you are supposed to do. So now let's look at these letters. There is a of an elephant, an and a T. But I can't read them still. So now the picture says it's a 10. So how do I write 10? So writing a 10, I'll start with a T, and then I'll put a and then that will make a 10. You start with a T, and an N. They have scrambled it. Let me just show you. And a T. Now this letter, I can't read it. It doesn't really make sense. Even if I read it to say ant, this is not how we write ant of an insect. So now to unscramble it, the picture here, they say it is a 10. It should be a 10. So how do I write 10? Now I'll start therefore with a T and a and then there it is. Now it makes sense. It's a 10. Now I would like you to do the same with all other pictures. The pictures are there, they will give you a clue. And then what you have to do is just to practice and see whether it makes sense after you have put it together nicely. So, grade 2, there you go, enjoy. Let me now take through the grade 3 with their activity. Grade 3, now we are going to enjoy doing our clapping today. We have a reading there on page 27. It is summer. That is our reading. I'll quickly read it through, and then after that, there is something new that we are going to learn in this passage. We are going to learn about syllables. We are going to learn about syllables. You will enjoy this. Syllables are quite a very nice topic for me. Okay, now let's read about summer and hear what it says. It is summer. It is a wonderful sunny day. Leto is in a hurry to get home. Yesterday, Mother promised to buy ice cream and fruit for lunch. She is happy to eat such nice food today. After lunch, Leto puts on her swimming costume and jumps into the pool. Her little brother wants to swim too. He is still young and cannot swim yet. The sun shines brightly and soon the rain will fall. Can you hear the wind blow? Father calls Leto to get dressed because she must go back to school for athletics practice. We will leave now, he says. There are clouds in the sky. The raindrops splash on the car windows. The children must wait for a few minutes before they can run around the rugby field. Today they enjoy the running in the cool temperature. Okay, we have read about summer. Now, what we are going to learn here is the syllables. Now, we have the underlined words. We are going to look much on the underlined words. But before I go through the underlined words, let me explain what is a syllable. Okay. Syllables. Now, what are syllables? The syllables are the beats in a word. Syllables are the beats in a word. Each word has got syllables, and they don't have one syllable, but they have got different number of syllables. Some words have got 1, some 2, some 3. Today we are going to learn how do we get the number of syllables in a word. Okay, so what we are going to do, we'll be calling out some of the words which are underlined there, or some will not be underlined, but we just want to find out how many syllables are in that word. So, now as we are reading the word, we are going to clap. And the number of claps that we are going to clap are a number of syllables in a word. All right, for example, yesterday is underlined in that passage. Yesterday. So we are going to read yesterday while we are clapping. So please clap with me at home. Clap with me. Yesterday. Let's clap. Yesterday. How many claps did we do? Yes, 3. So we have clapped 3 times. So in yesterday, there are 3 syllables. There are 3 syllables. We have clapped 3 syllables. But when I'm going to say summer, let's try to clap summer. Summer. If we clap summer, we clap it twice. Summer. Okay, so how many syllables there? There are 2 syllables in summer. There are 2 syllables in summer. Let's try to clap good. Good. How many times did we clap? Only 1. So good is only having 1 syllable. So you see that different words have different number of syllables that are in a word. Okay, so now, how do we know how many syllables are in a word? Not only by counting or clapping now. We have to check the number of vowels. Remember, we have learned about our 5 vowels. Do you still remember the 5 vowels? Do you remember them? Okay, let me write it here. A, E, O, and O. These are my 5 vowels on my fingers. I can use my fingers. A, E, O. The number of vowels will determine how many syllables are in a word. So you don't need to be clapping all the time and clapping and clapping. And you can just check on the word how many syllables, how many vowels are in that word. Then that will determine how many syllables are in a word. Now, one other thing. What about if a word is having 2 vowels coming together? How about if I say bread? How many syllables are going to be in a bread? I'm not going to count it, but I just want to check. Okay, how do we write bread? I still have a space here. I can write bread. So, if the 2 vowels come together like that, it takes only 1. It's only taking 1 vowel. So this sound here, the A for the elephant and the A for the apple, is just a what? It's just going to be 1. Therefore, this bread, even if I don't clap it, it's just going to give me what? Only 1 syllable. Are we together? Remember, the vowels determines how many syllables are in a word. Okay. All right, so now what about cutting the words into syllables? Now, on our activity there, if you check, they have told us that we have to do what? We have to divide the words which are underlined into syllables. Now, how do I know? Where am I supposed to cut this word to say this is 1 syllable, that is another syllable, that is another syllable? By dividing it according to the vowels which are in a word, it will give me a clue on where to cut. But remember, there are vowels in a word and there are consonants in a word. The consonants are all the letters of the alphabet except the vowels. When you take out your vowels from the alphabet, you take it out, the rest of the alphabet are called consonants. So those consonants also, you have to take it into account when you are cutting your word. All right. Okay, so now let us try and cut yesterday and see where we are supposed to cut in order to determine our syllables which are in yesterday. We said there are 3 by clapping. So now let's check the number of vowels there. Okay. So yesterday. How many vowels do we have there? We have the first vowel there. It's not together, remember? They're not coming together. So it's standing alone. And then we have another A there. It's standing alone. And we have the A of an apple. It's standing alone. So we are counting them separately. So yesterday. How many syllables? 3. Where do I cut? So the A, the first vowel here, it must stand alone in its own group. So I'm going to cut it between this and the T, because these 2 consonants, they must not come together on one side. So I have to divide them. And then the T is also having a vowel. And I had the two consonants again after a vowel. Where do I divide? They must not come together. Now I have 1, 2, 3. There am I. There I am. I'm having my 3 syllables. But if the consonant was only standing alone here, where will it go? It will not remain with the vowel this side. It will run to the next group. Are we together? These are the rules on how you must cut. I know it's a bit challenging, but if you can just listen nicely to me, then you will get it correct. All right, so now we are going to try and see if you will be able to cut these words which are underlined. Try to clap them first. You clap yesterday, ice cream, swimming costume, rain, wind, athletics, clouds, raindrops, children, and temperature. I hope you have enjoyed the syllables. Clap your hands for yourselves. You have done it. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson for today. Remember the pronouns, the words that we use instead of naming a person. And the syllables, the ones that we divide, and the clapping of the words. Okay, now we are going to sanitize our hands. Very important. Rub it nicely out and between the fingers. There you go. Thank you. Now we are going to call upon our friend Zoshi for a goodbye.
Hi everyone, I'm Shashi. And Simon says, don't touch your face, your eyes, your nose, and your mouth unless your hands are super clean. Bye!
Teacher Mudabeti, you are a superstar. What an exciting lesson. We learned all about punctuation and pronouns, and I'm sure that you guys as well are becoming pros with the pronouns. So next, I hope our grade 4 learners are as excited as I am for week 1, lesson 1 for science.
Welcome to all the grade 4 learners all over Namibia watching. My name is Stefanie Kotze, and this is my friend that will be joining us in class today. Welcome to My Zone Online School. First, before we start with our lesson, we are going to sanitize. Okay, so let's spray it on our hands. So you guys must always remember to sanitize and to beware of social distance. Okay, so today we are going to talk about health education and personal health. Okay, grade 4. So before we start talking about health education, let us open our workbooks and turn to page 12. So let's quickly look at the vocabulary words. The first word is personal. Personal means your own or private. So for example, the clothes that you are wearing today, it is your personal or your own clothes. The next word is factors. Factors means the things that causes a change or something that causes a change. And the last word is affect. Can make a difference. So that is something that makes a difference to you, something that affects you. Okay, so let us start off with the relationship between healthy behavior and personal health. So the thing is, health is important to all of us. And what you guys might not understand now is that your behavior affects your health. But before we get into that, you guys need to understand germs and what germs do. So germs are tiny organisms that can make you ill. And the thing is, guys, they are so small that you cannot see them without a microscope. A microscope is a pretty cool tool that scientists use to enlarge teeny tiny things that you can see it with the human eye. Okay, and this is the problem with germs. Because we don't see them, we don't even know that they exist. So now I'm going to show you with a practical illustration how quickly germs can spread. So I'm going to take a small bit of lotion and put it on my hands. So let's say that, now you guys, you need to use your imaginations for this illustration. So let's say that this blue glitter is germs, okay? So I just went to the bathroom in break time and I forgot to wash my hands. Then I get back in class, and when one of my students walk in, I high five her to greet her. Okay, so let's show them our hands. So now the germs that I had on my hands spread to her as well. So can you guys see how easily germs are spread? Germs can also be spread when you wipe your runny nose with your hand, or when you sneeze and you cough without coughing into your arm. So that is how quickly germs can spread. There are also a lot of sources of germs. It's very important to remember the different sources of germs and where they come from. Germs come from sick people firstly. Okay, so sick people normally sneeze and cough, and that is how germs are spread. Animals also have germs, so I know that you guys love your dogs and your cats and your hamsters, but the thing is they can be full of germs. So when you are done playing with them, it is important to wash your hands. Uncooked food, dirty toilets, and dirty kitchens can also contain germs. So guys, I hope you understand now how important it is for you to be mindful of your own behavior and how you are responsible for your own personal health. Hi, grade 4s. So let's continue. I hope you guys are still with me. So now we are going to talk about personal health factors that affect you and your family. So the thing is, when someone in your family gets sick, it affects the whole family. Let's say, for example, the guardian or the parent in the home gets sick, then that will affect the children as well. So that will mean that they won't be able to go to work, they won't be able to earn money, and they won't be able to pay bills like your school fees, for example. So can you guys see that this becomes a large snowball effect that can definitely and will definitely go wrong? So let's turn to our workbooks. We are still on page 12. And let's start with the first factor, the smoking of cigarettes or tobacco. So the thing is that your lungs are affected when you smoke, and your lungs are weakened. And that means that they can more easily be affected by germs. So in other words, you can more easily become sick. And when someone in the family smokes, the rest of the family inhales the smoke and the fumes. So that means their lungs will weaken as well, and they can be affected more easily by germs too. Smoking can also cause diseases such as lung cancer, asthma, and lung infections. And this is really serious, you guys. The second thing is drinking alcohol. So not only can the drinking of alcohol affect your health, but also that of your family. Things like financial struggles and violence goes hand in hand with the drinking of alcohol. Too much alcohol can actually cause your brain to shrink. Can you guys believe that? It can also cause blackouts, heart damage, and damage to your liver. And while we're talking about families, when a woman is pregnant and she drinks alcohol, then that baby will be born with something that we call alcohol syndrome. Okay, so in other words, that baby will be born with brain damage and with growth problems. And this is not something that you can be healed of. So, yeah, this is very serious, you guys. Okay, so the third thing is
a lack of exercise. So nobody wants to be a couch potato. I don't know if you guys know what a couch potato is, but it is when somebody sits in front of the television the whole day and you eat, okay, and you do no physical activity. So that is very bad and unhealthy. So when you don't exercise, it can increase the risk of heart disease, obesity, high blood pressure, and cholesterol. But there's a very easy solution for this problem. Even by exercising 20 to 30 minutes per day, you can increase your health and prevent all of these illnesses. The fourth one is a poor diet. So on that picture, you can see that that boy is eating a lot of unhealthy food. So it is important to have a balanced diet. Okay, and also the food that we eat gives our bodies energy to do our work, to do our schoolwork, and to play. So the problem comes in when you only eat one type of food. So let's say, for example, you only eat bread the whole day, okay? So that means your body will only receive a teeny tiny part of what it actually needs to function properly and to be healthy, okay? This will also affect your immune system and you will easily become sick. And this counts for you and for your whole family. The last one is not getting enough sleep. So the thing is that when you sleep, your body restores itself. And you guys won't believe this, but you actually grow in your sleep. And after a good night's rest, you wake up full of energy and excited for the new day. But when you don't get in enough sleep, then you wake up tired and irritated. And after a long time of lack of sleep, you can suffer from health issues like blood pressure and heart disease. So this is very important, you guys. So now we can turn to page 13 in our workbooks. So there you will see the self-assessment. We have 2 questions for you. The first question is, identify the relationship between healthy behavior and personal health. So for this question, it is important to remind yourself of germs and what they do. Question 2, for each of the following sentences below, state if it is true or false. So in the little space provided, you guys must go and write true or false depending on the sentence. Okay, but don't worry, the memorandum is also attached, but please try to do this on your own before you look at the memorandum. So before we finish today, my friend and I, we are going to sanitize again. So you can stand up, please. Okay, so let's sanitize. You guys at home, you must remember to do this. This is very important. And remember, social distance. Thank you so much for watching. I've enjoyed teaching you. You guys must have a lovely day. Bye.
Hi everyone, I'm Joshi. And make sure to always make a helicopter circle, stretching your arms out and spinning around like me. And make sure you're not touching anyone while doing this. Goodbye!
Thank you, Teacher Kotze, for that fantastic lesson. Who knew health could be so fun? So now our grade 4 and 5 learners are ready for math with week 1, lesson 1.
Good morning, Namibia, and welcome to My Zone Online School. I'm Mr. Sean Diergaard, and we have a lovely friend with us today. And the two of us are so excited to be bringing Maths grade 4 and 5 to you today. But before we can start with our lesson, we should first sanitize. My friend, let's take our sanitize, spray in our hands. Let's clean our hands. We have our masks on. And also remember social distance, at least 1.5 meters away from each other. So let's spread out and then we see. Wow, thank you, my friend. Now, today's lesson is numeration and place value. Okay, boys and girls, I want you to take out your books and open it on page 8. Now we're going to start with numeration. Now the question is, what is numeracy? Numeracy is the ability to understand and work with numbers. Now remember, when we work with numbers, they can give us numbers in digit form and they can also give us numbers in words. Now whenever they give me a number in the form of a digit and they want me to write it in words, there's one rule which I should always make sure of, and that is correct spelling. Because it's very, very important that we spell the number correctly whenever we write it in words. And when they give me the number in words, and they want me to write it in the form of a digit, there's also one rule. When the digits are 4 and more, remember to leave a space between the fourth and the third number. It's very important, guys, that we learn these two rules. Now we continue with a few examples. Let's look at our first examples. Write 23 in words. So there they give you the number 23. So they want me to write it in words. Now it's always easy to write a number in words because why? Here we say the number out loud, and as we hear the digits, we write it down. So let's start. 23. 20, so we hear the word 20, and then we write 20, and then we also hear the word 3. So we write 3, 23. And going back to our rule, make sure we spell 23 correctly. Let's try another example. Write 712 in digits. Here they gave me the word 712 and they want me to write it in digits. Now when we write numbers in digits, we start writing from the biggest number that we hear. So what is the biggest number that we hear? Yes, if you said 700, that is the biggest number. So we're going to write 700 and then we also hear 12 and then we're going to write the 12. You want to try one more example? Write 3,925 in words. Remember what I said. Always try to say the number out loud. And as you hear the number, then you write it down. So let's start. 3,000, that is the first word that I hear. So I write down 3,000. 900, that is the second. I write it down. And 25. So 3,925. And do not forget about your spelling. Guys, I want you to do the rest of the examples. Without looking on the answers, I want you to try that examples. But don't forget, whenever they give you the word, the digits in words, remember the space between the fourth and the third digits. Thank you. Now we continue. We go over to page 9 and we start with place value. Now, what is place value? Place value, remember, also deals with numbers. Now, a number is made out of different digits. And in that number, each of that digits has a specific place and a specific value. Now you will hear the word place value and you will also hear the word value. And it's important that we know what is the difference between place value and the difference between just value. Now going back to previous years, if you look at grade 1, 2, and 3, we always heard the teacher talked about units, tens, hundreds, thousands. Now that is the place value. That is the position a number has, a digit has in a number. So whenever we talk about place value, we talk about units, tens, hundreds, thousands, and these are usually written in words. And from the place value, we get the value. Now, value is how much is that digit worth? Is that digit worth 30, 300, 3,000, 30,000? So you will hear when we talk about value, we talk about how much the digit is worth. So please, guys, try to remember the difference between place value, which is unit, tens, hundreds, thousands, and then value, which will refer to how much the digit is worth. Is it worth 20, 50,000, 6, etc. And we usually use a place value chart, which we will record our digits in. And from the place value chart, we get our place value and we get our value. Now let's try a few examples. If we look at our book, there we have quite a big number. It says, fill in the numbers below in the correct place value on the place value chart. A number is 396,287. Are we together, my friend? Yes, we are together. Now let's see. Here we need to fill in each digit in the place value chart. In our place value chart, we usually start from the smallest place value, which is our units or ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000. So now we know the 7 is a unit, the 8 is a 10, the 2 is 100, the 6 is 1,000, the 9 is 10,000, and the 3 is 100,000. And that is the place value. Now let's look at our questions. What is the place value of the 9? Remember the word place? Place means position. Where in that number is the 9? And if we refer to our place value chart, we see the place value of the 9 is 10,000. Now let's try. What is the value of the 9? Here we see they just ask for value. We don't see the word place. We just see the word value. So here they want to know how much is that 9 worth? And we get it from the place value. We know the place value is 10,000. We take the 10,000, we multiply it with the 9, and the value is 90,000. Let's try one more example. What is the value of the 2? Here they only want to know what the value is. There's no place, so let's quickly try it. What do you think, what is the value? If you said the value is 200, that is 100% correct. How did we get it? We know the place is 100, and we said 2 times 100, and that is equal to 200. We want to try one more example. My friend also wants to try one more example. Is that correct? Yes. So let's try. What is the place value of the 7? Here we hear the word place value again. So here we know we want to find out what place or position the 7 has. We go to our place value chart and we see the 7 is a unit or it is a 1. So the place value of the 7, you can either write it as units or you can write it as ones. Well done, learners. And we can continue on page 10. Here we have a very nice activity for you guys to do. This activity is based on numeration and place value. Let's quickly go through the activity. Write 29 in words. Here they want us to write in words. Remember the rule. Check for spelling. Number 2, write 505 in digits. Number 3, write 578 in words. Check for spelling. Number 4 is quite a big word. 74,311 in digits. Let's repeat that again. Write 74,311 in digits. Here we should not forget the space between the 4th and the 3rd digit. Number 5, fill in the number 29,653 in the place value chart below. So there's a place value chart, units, tens, 100,000, 10,000s and 100,000s. Here, 5.1. Fill in the place value and the value of the 2. Then we want both the place value and the value. What is the value of the 5? And 5.3. What is the place value of the 6? Guys and girls, I really hope you will enjoy doing this activity. On page 11, you will find the memorandum. Memorandum is answers. But first, I want you to try to do these sums without looking at your answers. Boys and girls, I really hope you enjoyed today's lesson with me and my friend. And we want to say, please keep safe. Whenever you travel, wear your mask, sanitize, and keep social distance. Goodbye.
Hi everyone, I'm Joshi. And make sure to always make a helicopter circle, stretching your arms out and spinning around like me. And make sure you're not touching anyone while doing this. Goodbye!
Thank you, teacher Diergaard. What a wonderful lesson about numbers and place value. But always remember, you have value because you're smart and you're learning. So please remember to stay safe, sanitize, and just remember that everything will be okay. So before I say goodbye, my friend Elizabeth Joseph will be next with an interview with one of our superstar teachers. And I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Joseph and I am yet again in the studio with another episode for you guys, and I have another guest as well. But before we get into any of those details, I want us to please sanitize our hands. Let me just sanitize my guest's hands and make sure that you keep yourself sanitized and wearing a mask at all times. So right now we're going to jump straight into it. So please introduce yourself to me and the viewers and tell me what you have been doing here at NMH for the past few days.
Okay, thank you. My name is Unonjamu Hinguva. I'm currently a teacher, teaching at the school outside of Fokakara, plus minus 60 kilometers. So what we have been doing here, basically we have been translating workbook for learners for pre-primary and grade 1 from English to our vernacular, which is Oshirero.
Okay, awesome. Can you run me through how your process has been like? How has it been like for you to be here?
For me, it has been learning experience. It was something new at first, because I didn't know what to expect. But so far it has been going well. I've learned something new and I'm still learning. So basically it has been quite well.
All right, awesome. And then lastly, can you please just, do you have like a message or a word of encouragement for the kids out there that you'd like to share with them?
Yeah, to the kids, I just want them to calm down. They shouldn't panic. All these, hopefully it will come to an end, and they will, of course, go back to school. With these workbooks, they should try and how should I put this? Sure.
They should just be active. They should just keep doing.
Yeah, some of the kids are maybe used to doing this with the teachers. Like they'll struggle more without us. But my word to you guys is just listen to the parents. You must also start trusting and believing your guardians or anybody at home who is helping you, like they do believe in teachers.
All right. Awesome. There you have it. And please do make sure that you follow the advice of the teachers that come in here, because they want the best for you and they also miss you as much as you miss them. So please do stay tuned for our next episode.